Hey guys, I am Keegan Duke, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a true classic and a true household favorite in this house, homemade mac and cheese. Now this is a relatively inexpensive recipe and one that is quite easy to make, and trust me, if I can make it, you can make it. So why don't we get started by talking about what ingredients we need. For this recipe, I'm going to use about a pound of noodles. So I'm going to use about half a pound of rigatoni and half a pound of elbows. I like to use two different types of noodles just as a fun little thing to do, but if you have a preference, it doesn't really matter, so you can do really whatever you want. We're also going to need one whole stick of butter and about 8 cups of cheese. I have this white cheddar cheese for my cheese sauce, and then I'm going to use this pepper jack cheese to top off my mac and cheese afterwards. We're also going to use 3 cups of milk and half a cup of flour, and then I'm also going to throw in about 4 sweet bell peppers and about 4 jalapeno peppers as well. Next we have my secret ingredient, a little bit of chipotle sauce. I have this Guy Fieri chipotle sauce, but you could use really any other chipotle sauce, or if you're not feeling it, you really don't have to use it, it's just for a little bit of extra flavor. You're also going to need any seasoning that you'd like to add to your cheese sauce. This again is all really preference, but I like to use a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of salt. We're also going to use some chili powder, some garlic powder, some onion powder, and some smoked paprika. And then we're also going to use some cumin, some ground nutmeg, and some ground mustard as well. I like to start by first grating my cheese. For the cheese sauce, I'm going to use 4 cups of this white cheddar cheese. And for the top of the cheese, I'm going to grate my pepper jack cheese, and I'm also going to grate around 4 cups in case I want to add a little bit to the cheese sauce. Next, I'm going to fill a big cooking pot full of water so that way I can get ready to boil it. I'm also going to sprinkle in a little bit of salt while the water is heating up. While we wait for the water to boil, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the most important part of the mac and cheese, the cheese sauce. First, I'm going to add 1 stick of butter and wait for it to melt. Once the butter's melted, I'm going to go ahead and add a half a cup of flour and all the seasoning for my cheese sauce. I personally like a lot of seasoning in my cheese sauce, but really it's just up to your taste buds, so feel free to add as much as you'd like. Once we get all our seasoning in there, we're going to go ahead and mix it all together. It should get kind of a pasty texture without getting too clumped up and thick. Next, we're going to add about 3 cups of milk and stir it all together. Next, we're going to start adding all of our cheese for our cheese sauce. You're going to want to routinely stir the cheese sauce while it cooks and melts all the cheese until it starts to thicken up. Around now, my water started to boil, so I'm going to go ahead and start adding all my noodles. I'm going to use about half a pound of rigatoni and half a pound of elbows. I'm going to also routinely stir this as I wait for everything else to cook to make sure that the bottom doesn't get all crusted. While we wait for that, we can start cutting all of our peppers. I'm going to use around 4 jalapenos and then also about 4 sweet bell peppers. Make sure you also try to poke out some of the seeds from the jalapenos, otherwise your mac and cheese is going to be a little extra spicy. These peppers are going to add a little bit of extra flavor and kick to the mac and cheese, while also giving it a nice little crunch every once in a while. Around now, my cheese sauce was about ready to go, but I had one last ingredient to add, my my chipotle sauce. I'm going to add a good amount of this because I really want to send my cheese sauce to Flavor Town, and I would suggest that you do the same. Around now, our noodles should also be done, so we're going to go ahead and check them, and if they look good, we're going to go ahead and turn off our stove and strain our noodles. After that, we'll go ahead and dump all of our noodles into a separate baking pan. From there, we can go ahead and start adding all of our peppers. After adding our peppers, we're going to go ahead and dump all of our cheese sauce into the noodles and mix it around until it's all even. After adding our cheese sauce, I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle on this pepper jack cheese before I put it into the oven. Now we're going to add even more chipotle sauce, but this time we're going to put it on top of all the mac and cheese. Finally, we're going to throw our mac and cheese into the oven and bake it at 400 degrees for about 18 minutes. Now that our mac and cheese is done, we can admire our work and chow down.